The first click of the camera sounded harmless. By the last photo, my neighbor lowered her phone, looked straight into my eyes, and smiled in a way that made my heart stop. "Forget the dating app," she whispered. "Date me instead." I laughed because I thought she was joking. She didn't laugh back. Some moments arrive without warning, quietly changing the direction of an ordinary life. One simple favor, one unexpected smile, one sentence spoken from the heart can rewrite everything you believed about love. This is the story of two neighbors who spent years living only a few feet apart while carrying feelings neither of them had the courage to admit. Sometimes the person searching for love isn't across town or behind a screen. They're already standing next door, waiting for the right moment to knock. Before we begin, if you enjoy emotional and inspiring stories like this, make sure to support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories of kindness, hope, and humanity. My name is Ethan, and until that Saturday afternoon, my life was wonderfully predictable. I worked as a freelance graphic designer for my apartment, drank too much coffee, and rarely found a reason to leave home unless groceries demanded it. The only person who consistently pulled me out of my routine was my neighbor, Lily. Lily had moved into the apartment across the hall nearly 2 years earlier. She was cheerful without trying too hard, kind without expecting praise, and somehow remembered everyone's birthday in the building. Elderly residents adored her because she carried their groceries. Children loved her because she always had time to listen to their stories. Even the grumpy landlord smiled whenever she greeted him. We became friends almost immediately. It started with borrowed sugar, then shared dinners, movie nights, and occasional walks through the nearby park. People often assumed we were dating. We'd laugh and quickly correct them. "Just neighbors," Lily would always say. "Good friends," I'd add. Neither of us ever challenged those words. One rainy evening, while eating pizza on my couch, she admitted something I hadn't expected. "I've been thinking about trying a dating app." I shrugged casually, hiding the strange disappointment that tightened inside my chest. "You should. You're amazing." She smiled softly. "You really think so?" "I know so." She thanked me, but there was something uncertain behind her eyes. Over the next few weeks, she mentioned a few awkward conversations she'd had online. One man wouldn't stop talking about himself. Another canceled 3 dates in a row. One actually asked if she could split the bill before they'd even met. Every story ended with the same exhausted sigh. Maybe I'm just bad at this. I always answered the same way. You'll find someone. What I never said was that every time she talked about another man, I felt an uncomfortable ache I refused to examine. Saturday morning arrived with clear skies and warm sunshine. A knock echoed through my apartment. When I opened the door, Lily stood there wearing a simple blue summer dress, holding her phone with an embarrassed smile. I need a favor. Sure. I finally matched with someone decent. I forced a smile. That's great. He asked for some natural photos instead of selfies. Would you mind taking a few pictures of me outside? For half a second, I wanted to invent an excuse. Instead, I nodded. Of course. We walked to the small botanical garden only a few blocks away. Flowers stretched across every pathway, butterflies drifted lazily through the air, and children laughed somewhere near the fountain. Lily looked around nervously. I suddenly forgot how to stand like a normal human. I laughed. Good. That makes 2 of us. She rolled her eyes dramatically. Very encouraging. The first few pictures were awkward. She kept forcing stiff smiles. No, I said. Forget the camera. What? Just tell me about your favorite vacation. She blinked. I've never really taken one. Then tell me where you'd go. Her face immediately changed. Ireland. Why? I want to see those green hills everyone talks about. Keep talking. She described tiny villages, rainy mornings, bookstores, old castles, and quiet cafes. Without realizing it, she smiled naturally. Click. 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 Every photograph became better than the last. You know, I said while lowering the camera, this smile is impossible to fake. She looked away. Maybe that's because I'm not thinking about impressing anyone anymore. We continued walking. At one point she removed her shoes and stepped barefoot across the grass. "Come on. I'll pass." "Oh, don't be boring." Before I could refuse again, she grabbed my wrist and pulled me forward. The grass felt cool beneath my feet. For the first time in months, I laughed so hard my stomach hurt. An elderly woman passing by smiled warmly. "You two make a beautiful couple." We instinctively answered together. "We're not." Then we both stopped. Neither of us finished the sentence. The woman simply winked before continuing down the path. Something about that tiny moment lingered between us. Neither of us joked afterward. Instead, we wandered quietly toward the lake. The afternoon sun reflected across the water while ducks floated peacefully near the shore. Lily sat on a wooden bench. "Can I see the pictures?" I handed her the phone. She scrolled slowly. Her smile grew softer with every image. "You made me look happy." "You were happy." She stared at one photo for a long time. "No," she whispered. "I was." The wind lifted a strand of her hair across her face. Without thinking, I reached over and tucked it behind her ear. The world suddenly became incredibly quiet. She looked directly into my eyes. There was no laughter. No teasing. Only silence. She locked her phone and placed it beside her. "I don't think I'm going to send these." I frowned. "Why not?" She took a slow breath. "Because the whole reason I downloaded that app was to find someone who makes me feel exactly like I feel whenever I'm with you." For several seconds, my brain refused to process her words. "What?" She laughed nervously. "I practiced this speech all morning." "You did." "I even wrote notes." I couldn't help smiling. "Seriously." "They were terrible." She looked down at her hands. "I kept searching for strangers because I was scared the person I actually wanted would never feel the same." I swallowed hard. "Lily." She lifted her eyes again. "Forget the dating app." Then she smiled with a mixture of hope and fear. Date me instead.